Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In this episode, you could call this another lesson in insanity, but I wanted to give you, the viewer, an idea of what was coming to the United States of America in terms of the thought police. Now, this is an example of the thought police, the speech police that are putting people in prison in Germany for saying things that one group may not agree with. And this is the state doing this. This is a neoliberal society that is taking liberalism and their view on liberalism and then contorting it to become a police state. Here we go.
You might start to wonder if civilized discourse is just a myth. Aggressive threats, lies, and harassment have unfortunately become the norm online, where anonymity has emboldened some users to push the limits of civility. In the United States, most of what anyone says, sends, or streams online, even if it's hate-filled or toxic, is protected by the First Amendment.
I'll pause real quick. Now that is a very, very important word when she says what is hate-filled. So what she believes is hate, it could be something that is very, very simple. It could be something that you say that has nothing to do with hating someone. But they have that ability to then contort whatever you are saying and then define it as hate speech. How do you define hate speech? How do you define what is inherently a natural human emotion? People hate things. You may have one group of people who absolutely loves pea soup. Split green pea soup with a big slab of bacon. Some people may love that. Now, if you were to then position that to someone else, especially with the bacon in terms of a vegan, that could be hateful. Where does that line begin and end? And it doesn't. That's why you have to have free speech.
As free speech. But Germany is trying to bring some civility to the World Wide Web by policing it in a way most Americans could never imagine. In an effort, it says, to protect discourse, German authorities have started prosecuting online trolls. And as we saw, it often begins with a pre-dawn wake-up call from the police.
What is a troll? A troll is a mythological beast. A troll does not exist. There are no trolls. It is a thing of fantasy. However, it becomes her reality.
The story will continue in a moment.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany.
Hier ist die Polizei, wir müssen bitte mal mit Ihnen reden.
Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online.
A racist cartoon. 6 German armed state police are being used to raid a person's home for a quote-unquote racist cartoon.
Exact same time across Germany,
So, wir haben einen Durchsuchungsbeschluss für diese Wohnung.
more than 50 similar raids played out. part of what prosecutors say is a coordinated effort to curb online hate speech in Germany.
However, if that was a cartoon that was published by a Islamist mosque in their newsletter to their believers, to their cult members, that were to say something along the lines of "kill the infidel," well, that would be perfectly okay. That would be perfectly fine. To call persons that have decided to drop Islam durka, and adopt another religion or simply become agnostic, they are apostates. And they can be targeted. And that's perfectly okay in Germany. Here we go.
The typical reaction when the police show up at somebody's door and they say, hey, we believe you wrote this on the internet.
They say, in Germany we say, das wird man wohl doch mal sagen dürfen. So we are here with crimes of talking, posting in internet, and the people are surprised that this is really illegal to post these kind of words.
They don't think it was illegal?
No, they don't think it was illegal. And they say, no, that's my free speech. And we say, no, yeah, free speech as well, but it is also has its limits.
Interpreting those limits is part of the job for Dr. Matthias Fink, Svenja Meininghaus, and Frank Michael Lau, a few of the state prosecutors tasked with policing Germany's robust hate speech laws online. After its darkest chapter, Germany strengthened its speech laws. As prosecutors explain it, the German Constitution protects free speech, but not hate speech. And here's where it gets tricky. German law prohibits any speech that could incite hatred or is deemed insulting. It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician...
That sticks around forever.
Yeah.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats, and fake quotes. If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices. How do people react when you take their phones from them?
They are shocked. It's a kind of...
Look how they are smiling and laughing about this. This is like no big deal to them. They are perfectly okay. Look at her. And they want to bring that here. This would have absolutely been present in the United States had Kamala Harris been elected. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, this would have occurred. Maybe not in the first administration, but the second, whatever that looked like, absolutely. Here we go. And again, look how they're laughing and smiling about this.
punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
Because your whole life is typically on your phone now. The application of Germany's decades-old speech laws to the online world was accelerated after an assassination, fueled by the internet, sent shockwaves through the country. In 2015, a video of a local politician named Walter Lubke went viral after he defended then-Chancellor Angela Merkel's progressive immigration policy.
People with a very right political worldview, they started hating him on the internet. They started insulting him. They started to incite people to kill him. And that went on for about 4 years.
Online.
Yes, until
Guys, make no mistake. Make no mistake. This is directed towards the conservative element of society. This is directed towards people who do not believe that borders should be open and masses of cult members should be imported into your nation state. This is what this is about.
in 2019, so 4 years after he gave that speech, he was shot in his head and instantly dead. So that was one of the cases where we see that online hate can sometimes find a way into real life and then hurt people.
After a man with links to neo-Nazis was arrested, Germany ramped up the creation of its online hate task forces. There are 16 units across the country, each with a team of investigators. Frank Michael Lau, a career criminal prosecutor, leads the Lower Saxony unit. How many cases are you working on at any time?
In our unit, we have
I just wanted to pause this real quick. Did you see how she said neo-Nazi? I am amazed how often, if I'm having a conversation with someone and they decide to declare something in terms of Nazi, right? He's a Nazi. If you ask them, well, what is that? What is a neo-Nazi? What are you saying? And they all they can think about and all they can respond back in terms of what happened in the 1930s and 1940s in Germany. But they don't understand it was an acronym, and it meant National Socialist German Workers' Party. And they are, quite frankly, amazed when you say, well, when you say Nazi, when you say someone is a Nazi, you're essentially saying simply an acronym for National Socialist German Workers' Party. It's amazing how many liberals are completely oblivious to that fact. Here we go.
about 3,500 cases per year.
9 investigators work out of this office in a converted courthouse. Lau says they get hundreds of tips a month from police, watchdog groups, and victims. You must see a lot of crazy stuff.
Yes.
The worst of the internet is wrapped in red case folders, stuffed with printouts of online slurs, threats, and hate.
This is a criminal offense, so.
What does that say?
Kletterpark for Flüchtlinge.
So they're suggesting that the refugee children play in the electrical wires. Okay.
In this case, the accused had to pay 3,750 euros.
Wow.
It's not a parking ticket.
Yeah, not a parking ticket. To build their cases, investigators scour social media and use public and government data. Lau says sometimes social media companies will provide information to prosecutors, but not always. So the task force employs special software investigators.
It's amazing how they are aggressively attacking people who do not agree with these quote-unquote refugees. These refugees are changing European society. They are committing cultural suicide. These people that they are importing, these quote-unquote refugees, are going to have a fantastical higher birth rate than the existing German population. They are going to outproduce them. And eventually, they will implement the society that they fled from. They will create exactly what they were fleeing from. These people are not helping German culture or German society. They will eventually destroy German society. And these people who are posting this information, they understand that. They know that. And they want to put them in jail.
to help unmask anonymous users. So this is suggesting you kill people seeking asylum here. Laus says his unit has successfully prosecuted about 750 hate speech cases over the last 4 years. But it was a 2021 case involving a local politician named Andy Grote that captured the country's attention. Grote complained about a tweet that called him a Pimmel, a German word for the male anatomy. That triggered a police raid and accusations of excessive censorship by the government. As prosecutors explained to us, in Germany, it's okay to debate politics online, but it can be a crime to call anyone a Pimmel, even a politician. So it sounds like you're saying it's okay to criticize a politician's policy, but not to say, I think you're a jerk and an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Comments like "you're son of a bitch," excuse me for using, but these words has nothing to do with political discussions or a contribution to a discussion.
Civility is more than a commandment. For Germans, rules are gospel. Even on a quiet street, the crosswalk signal is adhered to with the devotion of a monk. But some here worry by policing the internet, Germany is backsliding. The criticism that, this feels like the surveillance that Germany conducted 80 years ago. How do you respond to that?
There is no surveillance.
Josephine Ballon is a CEO of Hate Aid, a Berlin-based human rights organization that supports victims of online violence. In the United States, a lot of people look at this and say, this is restricting free speech. It's a threat to democracy.
Free speech needs boundaries. And in the case of Germany,
these people are clueless. They do not understand the idea, the concept of why you have free speech. It's not about boundaries. Free speech and or laws designed to protect free speech are protecting some of the worst ideas that one side may not simply agree with. That's the whole concept of it. Unbelievable. Germany, you are lost.
these boundaries are part of our constitution. Without boundaries, a very small group of people can rely on endless freedom to say anything that they want, while everyone else is scared and intimidated.
And your fear is that if people are freely attacked online, that they'll withdraw from the discussion.
This is not only a fear, it's already taking place. Already half of the internet users in Germany are afraid to express their political opinion, and they rarely participate in public debates online anymore. Half of the internet users.
Wir wissen, hate speech wirkt.
She's so full of shit. It's just coming out of her mouth. It is absolutely incredible. And what they're talking about is, again, this is designed to police one side of the political spectrum. Liberals, leftists, what have you, the greenies, perfectly acceptable. Say whatever they want. You know, I would dare to say that coming out about climate change in creating an atmosphere of fear, that if you do this, you are going to wipe out civilization through, quote-unquote, climate change. Now, that's not based on fact. That could be defined as hate speech. It could be designed to create an atmosphere of perpetual fear. But that's okay.
Renat Künast is a prominent German politician. In 2015, this meme of the Green Party member appeared on Facebook, falsely implying that she said every German should learn Turkish. You never said that.
I never said that. And this harms my reputation because people think she's a bit crazy. How can she say that?
Künast, a 40-year politician, says she began receiving threats and hate-filled comments from anonymous users online. You've spent your life in...
Anyway, I think you guys get the point of where this is going, and it's all directed one way. It's all directed one way. If you look at police activity, police investigations, you will find a very, very, very small, if any, prosecutorial efforts and investigations directed towards neoliberals. It just doesn't exist. And again, they are able to say things that generate hate, that generate fear. They are doing the exact same thing. It's just that the current government in power agrees with it. That's it. Check it out when you get a chance. Watch the entire segment. Again, another Lessons in Insanity. Thank you for joining us. Good day.